I got a 7000 series AMD graphics card with the latest and greatest hardware AV1 encoding. So I decided to test its AV1's capabilities and find the most optimal quality settings for me. And then realize in the end, that's just not a good mentality to have. Let's get into it. To test the encoding settings, I first recorded some lossless CS2 footage. I wanted to have the exact same footage, just encoded with the different qualities, so I can look at the exact frames side by side and analyze them closely, which in my perfectionist mind was perfectly reasonable and not overly unnecessary at all. So I took the footage to Handbrake, where I noticed something weird. The CQP value went from 0 to 255. For context, that same value goes from 0 to 63 in OBS, so I didn't think much of it. I thought it just gave access to lower qualities for some reason. So I went ahead and encoded the videos in increments of 10. CQP 10 all the way to 60, since 63 is the maximum in OBS. But all the videos had barely any change in quality, considering I skipped like 10 values. They all still looked really good and they also took quite a bit of storage. I thought something must be broken, so I took the only logical decision. I took it to Reddit to find any semblance of a fix, or at least someone briefly mentioning about it in their own 300-page essay about AV1. Luckily, amongst related posts, I found a comment that confirmed there must be something wrong with AMD's AV1 implementation. So I continued trying to find an explanation or a fix or workaround, still not realizing that the answer is really not as hard as I'm making it out to be. I find out about Shutter Encoder and that it's better than Handbrake, so I give it an install and try it out. I run the tests again with the CQ values, but another problem peeked its head out. Every CQ level looked the same and occupied the exact same amount of space. I ran the tests again, checking all the settings again because I thought it must have been a bug. Same thing once again. At this point I almost gave up. I was gonna return to my old H.265 settings in OBS, but then I thought the unthinkable. What if I just tried the CQP settings directly in OBS, instead of trying to find it with other software? And that was my massive eureka moment. I realized that the CQP values are not consistent across programs. So just because CQP 20 looks one way inside Handbrake, doesn't mean it's gonna look the exact same in OBS. That just made me have a brainwave. Why obsess over numerical precision? Just do the tests by eye. You don't even need all that detail on YouTube. So I recorded a bunch of footage in OBS with different CQ values. And I found 20 to be good. It's a bit worse than CQP 23 in H.265, but I'm willing to give up some quality. You can't even notice it unless you look with a microscope and a pair of binoculars. And yeah, that was it. It was really that simple. I spent days until I came to this conclusion. The reality is, if you're recording to upload to YouTube or other social media, overthinking your settings is just not worth it. It's a waste of time. YouTube and other social media compresses your video anyways, so all that detail won't even be visible. Don't overthink it. The answer is a lot simpler than you think.